Chris Waller joins us from the Gold Coast Turf Club on a Tuesday morning. Busy morning, Chris. You had a number of horses work as they head towards the races on Saturday. Let's start with the Doomben Cup. Kovalica, there was, I guess, some doubters with his run in the Hollindale. I thought he was terrific. He had the best last 200 metres of the race.
Yeah, it was a good run. Obviously, heavy track, and just we went back from the draw. And he finished off really well. The last 200 metres were good. So, I know he hasn't won since the Derby last year, but now up to more suitable distances, I think you'll see some good form from him, and obviously a better track would help as well too, and a good draw. So he's ready to bounce. He's a proper horse.
Looking at the race, if he's probably that length or two closer, he's right in the finish. How that race panned out at the Sunshine Coast?
Yeah, he was fine. I thought the run was really good. Barrier draws, regardless of what distance, I think play its part, especially on wet tracks. You don't want to be giving away too much start, but yeah, his work since then has been very good, and we can't fault him.
El Bogadin is a nomination in the race on Saturday. It seems a horse that is busting for a rain-affected track on the reverse. Kovalica probably wants it a bit better than certainly the Sunshine Coast. If he's anywhere near that Cox Plate run, he's right in the thick of a race of a Doomben Cup of this depth.
Yeah, for sure. His first up run at Hawkesbury was a pass mark, and as you said, if he can get some rain on the day or a soft track, it'll certainly significantly help his chances. We can't fault him. His attitude seems fine. So it is a bit frustrating. He's won a Group 1 race in Europe, came down in terrific form. It hasn't quite clicked here, but I think mainly track conditions, so we'll see what's in store the next few days.
Nothing has sort of suggested that he's going as bad as his form at home and how he's been working?
No, it works fine. Plenty of enthusiasm. He's bouncing on and off the tracks.
A stack of fillies nominated for the Roses. This is the key lead up to the Oaks on Saturday. Interesting runner, Tutor La Vida. Obviously a huge run in the Vinery Stud Stakes, and then terrific in the Oaks on a very heavy track. She's changed ownership since. The US tycoon John Stewart, Resolute Racing, paid $3.2 million for it at the chairman's sale. How's she coming along after that freshen up after Sydney?
She's coming along well, and it's exciting to have a runner for John and Chelsea and the Resolute team. We gave her a trial over 1,000 metres on Friday, and she trialled really well. Nash was aboard, and he was very complimentary, so it looks like she's freshened up really well, and 2,000 metres will suit, and nice lead-up run into the Oaks 2 weeks later.
What's he like as an owner? Is he on the phone all the time, or have you heard much from him since he's taken over the ownership of Tutor La Vida?
I met him sort of 6 weeks ago, and yeah, just a great enthusiastic guy, and it's all about his team with Chelsea and just a growing empire. I think they've got up to close to 100 horses already, and focusing on racing, and he's a big fan of Australian racing, and it's a refreshing scene, that's for sure, to see him come along. And no, he doesn't get involved in the training, but he's all about information and making sure things are seen in the right light, and a big supporter of racing, which is great.
You talk about an up-and-coming type filly at Scarlet Oak. She's gone through the restricted races, very good at Newcastle at that transferred meeting recently. She ploughed through the heavy track, but she's a filly with above average ability.
Yeah, she is. She's still in her first preparation, but she could easily surpass all of them. She's a really, really good horse, but one step at a time, and this is a big step. As you say, she's coming off a Saturday win up to group company, up in distance, so there's still a few boxes to tick, but to my eye, for what she's doing and how she won that race, which was her third career start, and prior to that she was second in a group race, so yeah, I think she's a real star on the horizon.
You've always been a big believer in the future of racing and the industry going forward, and needing the young people to come through and staff. Young Jake, who's an employee of the Chris Waller racing team through the AITC, Australian Industry Trade College, was strapping his first runner at Doomben on Saturday on 10,000 Day Mikhail. It's obviously great to see those young kids come through, and obviously you're not here all the time at the Gold Coast, but the college and how it's been supported by the Turf Club and the industry around it, it must be good to see that come through and know that there's good young kids coming through.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's what the industry needs for so many reasons. Firstly, we need the young talent coming through and being able to attract them to racing. Secondly, to do it the right way, teach them the right way, do it safely. Um, and I think it's a very important part of the future. Not only is it talent, but it's also a way to get people in, because otherwise there's a huge labour shortage, and we shouldn't have to be just depending on overseas people, which are making up the bulk of our stables, and thank goodness it is, because we've got some great talent coming in from so many different countries. They can see Australian racing, and here we are in the middle of winter and it's a nice climate at the Gold Coast, and yeah, I think all jurisdictions should be doing the same. So the Gold Coast need to be applauded, not just with training people, but even facilities, bringing things up to scratch, spending some money on infrastructure, which I think is just as important as prize money. You get the infrastructure right, it's safer for horses, you've got a chance for horses to reach their potential quicker, hold their potential, and just creates a much better vibe.
Thanks for your time this morning, Chris.
Pleasure.